Another comment that Tony Khan has had since you and I last recorded. Quote, there's a number of big factors that would play into why wrestling has seen such a great renaissance in recent years. I think it comes from the great competition in wrestling right now and the fact that there are so many great stars competing right now. Everyone knows that the most real thing in wrestling is the competition between the companies. The companies hate each other, and it will be a natural resource that powers the industry. They want to beat each other and take everyone's free agents, and that is what makes it interesting for everybody else. What do you make of this comment from Tony?
Delusional. Any clear thinking person who isn't emotionally invested to the point of it clouding their judgment understands it to be fucking delusional for the very reasons I just gave you. There's nothing competitive about this situation. And AEW and Tony Khan, as much as they try, as Tony Schiavone said, and they believe because they want to believe that they're actually competition in their minds, particularly in Tony Khan's mind, evidently, it's not reality. And continuing to push this non-reality as a fact only undermines any hope Tony Khan is ever going to have of reestablishing credibility with his audience.
Let's do another quote from Tony. This one says, to be AEW is to be under constant attack. You do a great show, and the next day someone is saying something negative. You do 5 great shows in a row, someone says something negative. At this point, I don't worry about it. We just need to go out and do great shows. And he had this to say about X or Twitter. One platform, X. It is amazing how much time is spent in this industry on it. And sometimes becomes what I've seen, sometimes a bit of an echo chamber. And also there's a lot of bad faith. There's a lot of bad faith posting on it. And you're having a great day in the business, like do the #1 show, and people will try and tell you, you didn't do something great. Or you can break the world record for the most tickets ever sold to a wrestling show and have this massive, huge success on pay-per-view. It just hit a home run and the wrestling's great and everything is great. And people are trying to tell you there's some sort of problem with it or some detriment. And I got to say, he's right. Like he is taking a lot of criticism, even when things are going well. But I think you're also right. He may have invited it on himself.
He's taking a fucking bath in it. He wallows in this stupidity and delusion. He's creating the negativity he's whining like a bitch about. If you don't like it, Tony, shut up and wrestle. Go back and listen to the 83 Weeks episode and just listen closely, because there was no ill intent. There was no bad faith. That's another term both Dave Meltzer and Tony Khan love to use. Again, another word that I think, at least in Dave Meltzer's case, he probably just heard or learned recently. Bad faith. I'd like to know where that bad faith is coming from. Is it coming from people that are pointing out the realities of your business? Is it people from pointing out the fact that you're having a hard time drawing 3,000 people to a live Dynamite? I mean, where is the bad faith in people pointing out and talking about the realities of your business and the stupid things you've done and the poor leadership that exists? It's not deniable. It's not fabricated. It's right here, unfortunately, for the entire world to see. But rather than recognizing it and adjusting, pivoting, and being smarter about it, you're wallowing in it and inviting more of it. Good luck. Have at it.
I don't know that this will ever change. I think this is the way it is. And our man who helps us with our YouTube here, Ant Evans, you've seen recently on Wise Choices, he ran not 1 but 2 polls during our show today. And the poll showed that 76% of fans felt like Tony aired the footage because he was upset over the interview with Ariel Helwani. I can't even imagine that is a stretch. Like, that's the only logical thing. If he was going to show the footage, because I saw people online saying Eric Bischoff would have showed the footage. And I thought, you're damn right he would have in September, not now. Like, to me, if you were going to.
Well, I had Punk under contract, and if I had a plan, hell yeah, I would have.
Like, to me, if you really wanted to turn people against Punk and use whatever momentum and explain and justify, then you would have shown the footage that day when you let him go and you made that announcement at the United Center. That didn't happen, of course. And 76% of people think it's Ariel Helwani's interview with Punk that got that footage shown. And 90% of fans watching now on 83weeks.com, I can't believe this is a real sentence, say that jet lagged Eric on his phone is more fun to watch than AEW. That to me is just silly.
No, it's not. I guarantee I'm more entertaining.
I'm not saying that your promos aren't better and your stories might not be better, but I haven't seen you do not one tope suicida. So I'm going to watch a little AEW.
Do not sell me short. You saw the video that I posted this morning on
I did, man. You were out there, right? Lil Yachty,
dancing out to the crowd. I shot that in Australia. I was in Australia. That was my meet and greet.
Oh God,
fans in Australia. I am over as Rover. Ask Chris Masters. Chris Masters. He was there. He saw it. He was backstage with me. He said, "Go on out and dance." I said, "Chris, I can't dance, man. I'm 60. I'll be 69 years old next month. You know, my moves are." Yeah. He said, "No, Eric, you can do it. You can do it." And Chris inspired me to, rather than just walking out and doing that cheesy point to my dimples thing and telling everybody, "I love you people. I love each and every one." Rather than doing that, try something new, Chris said to me. And I thought, Chris, why not? Why not? So I danced my way onto the stage, and I thought I'd post it for everybody today.
Well, we're glad you did, and we're glad you guys tuned in with us here for a live episode of 83 Weeks. We're not done. We're still going to knock out a handful of questions. We'll rapid fire some. I have no idea what you asked here, Robert S. I know you're asking another language. Maybe Eric knows, but appreciate you helping us out. Any idea what the hell that says, Eric?
Ambition, Robert. Ambition.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Cool. Hope it works out. Swayze says, it seems like Tony Khan's strategy is to outbid any free agents, which is why Drew has yet to sign with them. He's using the 1995 WCW strategy. You know, that is something that we should talk about. You know, I mean, Tony Khan even made sure to mention, hey, everybody's trying to steal each other's free agents, and that's what everybody else talks about.
Can we stop right there? Can we stop right there? Who has WWE tried to sign that they haven't been able to because that talent subsequently chose to go to AEW? I'm not saying there aren't any, but I'm just saying, who are they?
Mercedes Moné, Will Ospreay.
Mercedes Moné, based on what I have heard, I don't know this is a fact. I'm not Dave Meltzer. I'm not saying this is a fact. I have it on reasonably good authority that she asked for an amount of money that WWE wasn't willing to give.
Correct.
So WWE chose to let her go.
Correct.
There's a difference between a choice and a steal. Big difference. I know it sounds like it's just semantics, but it's really, really not. Because AEW is trying to create the perception that there's a battle for these free agents. And I'm not suggesting that there's not interest in some of these free agents. Of course there is. There should be.
Well, help me
not unusual.
I guess I'm not following you. Like in a free agent battle, I mean, even let's compare it to buying a house. If you have two offers, you take the one with more favorable terms.
Are you suggesting that WWE couldn't have meet or beat the offer that AEW gave her?
I think I'm going to say this respectfully. WWE didn't think she was worth the investment.
And she's not. And they were clearly right.
I'm not arguing any of that. I mean, well, I don't know what. I don't know what pay-per-view she's going to sell or what merch she's going to. I don't know any of those details. I don't know what's going on under the hood of AEW. But I'm just saying, WWE was interested in signing Sasha Banks back. And let me ask you this, Eric: if AEW didn't exist, where does Sasha Banks wrestle today?
Doesn't. But that has nothing to do with whether or not anybody's trying to. The term "steal." See, that suggests a Monday Night War type environment. There is no Monday Night War type environment here. Mercedes Moné came in, she left, walked out of WWE.
Yes.
They were interested in her coming back. She came in and demanded something that WWE went, "You're not worth it. See ya." And then Tony Khan paid her what she asked for. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that either on this show or maybe another one because we're running out of time. There's a strategy. There's a chess game going on here that people don't quite understand.
I agree.
It's being played out right under your fucking noses and you don't see it. And I'm not talking about the general population. I'm talking about the people that are constantly defending this free agent stealing battle competition. It's being played out right in front of you. And it's funny as hell to me because I've seen it before. Hell, I've been a victim of it before. I know exactly what's going on. But the world can continue to think that because Tony Khan said it, that WWE hates AEW because they're competing for free agents. WWE is going to get whoever they want.
Yep.
Now, in the case of Will Ospreay, who had a unique, evidently, based on what I've heard him or read him say, he has a unique situation, and AEW was a better option for him. As I said earlier, God bless Tony Khan. God bless Will Ospreay and his partner for being able to achieve what they've achieved based on Will Ospreay's dedication, hard work, and God-given talent. That's fucking awesome.
Agree.
But it has nothing to do with anybody competing and stealing. It was a choice. I don't get the competition and the stealing and the free agent bullshit. It's another extension of the fantasy world that Tony Khan lives in, and he's trying to sell, and nobody's buying it.